Shabbat Shalom to Yuakim, Wazakwanyam, Wakwaf, giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, and Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to all fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. And due to the big nature of this video, I'm not going to actually play the video, but I'm very sure you can definitely see the thumbnail and get a good hint at, what took place. You could tell it ended in a tragic event. And as you can see, the title, home surveillance footage catches husband brutally stabbing his wife and her side dude after busting in on her cheating. So, it's just safe to say that the spirit of vengeance definitely, took its precedence in that situation. And as it is written in Proverbs, the 6th chapter, for jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, in the time of vengeance, he will not spare. And that's basically what went down. All right, and she was definitely guilty because you could see it in the thumbnail. She's getting back shots from the side guy, so she was clearly caught in the act. There wasn't no speculation. It wasn't just, I think something is wrong. No, she was guilty. She was caught in the act, very act. All right, extremely, disrespectful, very careless. And a lot of these women, they have this type of freedom, so they do shit like this. See, when the Lord implemented the law, it was to actually establish order. All right, the Lord created judgments to deal with these type of situations, to put away evil from among Israel. When you don't have the law to actually judge situations like this, it's going to be normalized. All right. So let me get real quick in Habakkuk, the 1st chapter. And that's why in the ancient world, adultery was not tolerated one bit, especially amongst us, amongst Israel. All right, let me get Habakkuk 1 and 4. It is Habakkuk 1 verse 4, and it says, Therefore the law slacked, and judgment doeth never go forth. For the wicked doeth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. And the laws on adultery is slacked. So that gives these women room to exercise, their options, being on the CC, even when they're in a marriage. When a woman is not supposed to know no other man, as long as your husband is alive, you're bound to him. Let's get Romans 7 real quick. So when evil happens to these women that do these things, basically it was just judgment. She had it coming, man. All right, Romans 7 and 1, it says, Know you not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which have a husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another, meaning she lay down with another man, because that's what constitutes marriage, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from the law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. So that woman was an adulteress. And let's go real quick to Hebrews, because this is what happened to her. She got judged. All right, Hebrews 13 and verse 4, it says, Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, the Most High will judge. All right, and this dude, he was getting his pleasure, He fell into that condemnation of lust, right? Like it tells you in James, the 1st chapter, And let's get that, because this guy, he probably had his eyes on that woman. She was giving him rhythm. They was probably, her and her husband probably wasn't seeing eye to eye, they had problems. And this guy decided to, intervene. And when a lot of these women, this is what they do. when they're not happy in their relationship, they go outside of their relationship and do the low ball shit, that they will try to justify when they're not happy. But that's not excusable. That's not, that's off. No matter how bad you think your man did you, that doesn't give you an excuse to do that very act, man. That's total wickedness. So, real quick, let's go to the law. We're gonna go to Leviticus. It is Leviticus 20:10. It says, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." Now, if you watch the clip, he came in and gave him the Ron Goldman, Nicole Brown Simpson treatment, minus the near decapitation. But you could tell that was a bloody sight. He left a trail of blood because he went in there and he butchered both of them up. The guy ended up running out, and he probably collapsed later on because he stabbed him up, and then he went in there and he stabbed the shit out of her. So both of them didn't make it. All right. Well, according to the law, he didn't do anything wrong, but according to society, he committed murder. So they're gonna prosecute him under the fullest extent of the law. They're gonna charge him as this is a double homicide, a double murder. So they're gonna throw him up under the jail. All right, but hey, this is natural. The scriptures tell you jealousy is the rage of a man. And that's why in the ancient world, amongst our customs, if a woman was caught in an act, her and the guy, they both got publicly made an example to put away evil from among Israel. All right, let me get Proverbs 6 and 32. And it says, "But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and a dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance." And that's clearly what you saw. A death angel came upon this guy. And you see that big ass knife in his hand. All right. So basically the Lord put the spirit of vengeance on this guy. All right, let's get Sirach 39. Yeah, it was real brutal. That's why on this side, it ain't even worth, going through that trouble. Don't, you would be a fool to try to take matters into your own hands under this setup. You pretty much got to take that L, and let the Lord deal with these, these ungrateful, wicked women out there, man. Sirach 39. Then we're going to go down to verse 28. It says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes." And man, go and watch that video, man. All right, he gave him that Ron Goldman special, the Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So ultimately that attack really appeased the Most High, because the Lord hates adultery. That's why I quoted Hebrews the 13th chapter. "For whoremongers and adulterers will the Most High judge." So those two people got judged. All right, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, wild animals, and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, i.e. in case in point a knife, punishing the wicked to destruction. All right, so, like it tells you in Job, where whoever perished being innocent, and where were the righteous cut off? All right, so both of they wicked asses, they got what they got. All right, He caught him, and he did what he did, man. He couldn't help himself. Jealousy is the rage of a man. That energy came up. The Lord put that energy on him. You know. So, you know, one thing's for sure is, hey, fear the Most High, man. All right, and like even you sisters that have husbands, you know, you better make sure you reverence him. You reverence that man, and don't even think about, you know, being disrespectful. Don't even try to secretly, you know, be unfaithful, because you know you got certain women, you know, they know that they can't, you know, step out of bounds and be blatant with it, but they will subtly, you know, do certain shit that's disrespectful. Now, whether it's stepping outside of the house with inappropriate attire to try to get attention from other men, or whether their eyes are wandering around, you know, looking at men, sizing men up, you know, while her husband his back is turned to her, and she's getting all the looks in. Look, you know, you better not do even that kind of shit. Don't even do that, you know, because the Lord will jack you up. All right. So, hey, you know, judgment went forth. All right. And like it tells you in Proverbs, evil men understand not judgment. You know, people say that, oh, this guy, he was a loser for that, and he whoop-de-whoop. You know, he committed murder. Well, you don't understand judgment then. All right. And that's why all you simp-ass dudes in this world, that's why you have the problems you got now. Because you don't believe in, you know, repercussions. You don't believe in holding these women responsible. All right. And I'm not advocating, you know, for violence or nothing like that, but I'm just basing it off of, you know, what transpired in this video right here, which this is common too. You know, men take these matters into their own hands because we know that the law is not going to do anything. They protect these women. That's why these women have the liberty to be as bold as they are. All right. So, hey, don't be surprised when men, you know, get that spirit on them. And you already know with tension in the air, with people on edge, because, you know, things are all, you know, jacked up. You know, we're dealing with austerity in the country. You know, people they ain't happy, man. So just give them a good reason to fuck your life off. And they will. You know, it's just getting to that point, man. People are on edge, so it's very, 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 that energy of violence is just out there. All right, so, you know, be careful of the energy that you put out there, because it will return. So anyway, I'm gonna close out with that. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahawashi, and hey, fear Yahawashi, man. Fear, hey, this is the whole duty of man. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments. All right, that's the moral of the story. Shalom.